Okay, so Vanderpump Rules has been on, I think this is their 10th season. It might be their 9th season, but they've been on, no, actually, I think it's their 10th season. They've been on a long time. And I told you how they started back when we watched the pasta episode. But when they started, Tom Sandoval was dating Kristen Doute, and Tom Schwartz was dating Katie, and they eventually got married. Her name is Katie Maloney. And I think like season 3, they introduced a new castmate, and her name is Ariana. She had worked at one of the other restaurants that is owned by the same people, Lisa Vanderpump and Kit and Todd. And Kristen got like really jealous of their friendship, and it was a whole thing, and eventually they did start dating. Never super confirmed whether they were dating before he and Kristen were officially over, but Kristen has acknowledged that they were both extremely unfaithful to each other, and it was a very toxic relationship, and she's very over whatever infidelity there may have been. So Ariana and Tom have been together for 9 years. They bought a house together when all the other castmates were kind of buying a house in the same area, and there was always a little bit of like tension because she didn't want to get married, she didn't want to have kids. He maybe did, but like was okay with the fact that she didn't, kind of thing. And they just seemed like very steady. Like there wasn't like a lot of drama between them, at least not on the show. And from what their friends are saying now, like even in real life, there wasn't like a ton of drama between them. So in the meantime, a castmate named James was introduced. He actually was dating Kristen after Kristen and Tom broke up, and it's widely accepted that he did that so that he could be on the show, because they were also very toxic. He is a toxic person. So after he and Kristen broke up, he started dating this girl named Raquel, and she was never quite part of the group because people didn't really like James, because he was a horrible, abusive, toxic person. And so he was with her for 6 years. They got engaged, and then they broke up actually the day before the last reunion, which was like she gave him the ring back on stage on camera, which is dramatic. And then in the meantime, Katie and Schwartz got married. Tom Schwartz, so it's Tom Schwartz and Tom Sandoval, right? So Tom Schwartz and Katie got married, and then when they weren't filming, they got divorced. Made the bold decision not to play the end of their relationship out on camera. But so in the current season, which was filmed last summer, Raquel is kind of hanging out with the group. She's really close with Ariana. She's really close with Sheena, who's the one who started it all with she was the one who did the sit down with Brandy, whose husband she slept with years and years and years ago. So in the current season, Raquel's hanging out with the girls. Katie and Schwartz are like trying to still be friends. They're like handing their dogs off to each other 1 week at a time, and they kind of agreed like they're not gonna hook up with anyone that they're like friends with. And Raquel and Schwartz have like a little flirtation going on. And Raquel actually goes up to him and says, "Do you want to make out?" And he's like, "I can't." There was like a rumor that she hooked up with him at what's the thing called? Coachella, but he wasn't even at Coachella. So Katie gets all mad that there's like this flirtation. She gets really mad at Sheena because Sheena's like encouraging it, but she's not really like holding Tom or Raquel accountable for what's going on. Anyway, so that's all happening on the season. We're on like episode 5. In real time, last Friday, we found out that Raquel and Tom Sandoval have been having an affair for 7 months. And so when some fans saw Raquel making out with who they thought was Tom Schwartz, it was actually Tom Sandoval because he was at Coachella. And they have been hooking up since July of last year. So that is a long time to be having an affair on this woman that you live with and own a house with and have dogs with and, again, have been with for 9 years. And the way she found out was somebody handed her his phone while he was on stage, because he plays in like a cover band, and it like fell out of his pocket. Somebody handed it to her, and she apparently told her friends that like something just told her to look at his phone, and she went into the photos and she found a video of the two of them FaceTiming explicitly. So she called Raquel, who was in New York because she was on Watch What Happens Live, which is Andy Cohen's talk show, with Sheena. And apparently, like, she got off the phone and she said to Sheena, oh yeah, that was Ariana. I've been sleeping with Tom for 7 months and we're in love. And Sheena allegedly, like, went ballistic and hit her. Now, that's highly debated and has not been confirmed. But everyone is obviously furious at Raquel. Everybody is furious at Tom. Tom and Ariana, because they have this house together, like, everybody's been going over, everybody from the show, whether they're on the show or not. Kristen got fired a couple of years ago because she called the cops on a black coworker because she didn't like her. And that, you know, in 2020 when that came out, it was a big deal. I think if it came out now, it wouldn't have gotten her fired, but she was rightly fired. But she is still really close with everybody. So she's been over there, and because she's not under contract, she's able to like confirm what details are real of what's been out in the press. And so, but now she's coming back because since this all broke, everybody's been like, we need to bring back all the old people to like, cause they were right about him. Cause he always seemed self-centered and, just like kind of flighty. Like, he was opening a restaurant with Tom Schwartz, but like Schwartz says that he like disappeared for 3 months because he was like starting this cover band, and like just never really felt like he was like settled with himself. His hair has also gone through an extraordinary number of transformations. So so the scandal, as they're calling it, is the fact that Raquel and Tom not just had an affair, because like there's been cheating in this group before. Kristen and Jax hooked up at one point. Jax was dating Stassi, who was like the other best friend of Kristen and Katie. Jax has cheated on everyone he's ever been with, but he's no longer on the show, and neither is his wife, who he cheated on extensively before they were married. We don't know now. And so everybody's kind of had cheating scandals, but the fact that they did it for 7 months and that they were like the couple that everybody thought was like steady and like non-toxic, and that Ariana is like just so like chill. Like, she's not your typical reality star. She's very like chill and really like is friends with everybody. So they all like I said, they're all like over her house all the time, and like the only person that's really speaking to Tom Sandoval is Tom Schwartz, but even Tom Schwartz is furious. And so the theory among the fans is that Raquel went after Schwartz to kind of throw the scent off the fact that she was hooking up with Sandoval. So now Katie's upset, obviously, because she like was like being gaslit, and like her feelings were basically trampled on in order to like hide this other thing that was happening. Like, Raquel didn't even care about Tom Schwartz, maybe. Raquel's 27. The rest of them are like in their late 30s. So, you know, part of it is that she's just like trying to figure out what the hell to do with her life. She just got out of this 6-year very toxic relationship. But that's not an excuse. It's just an explanation. And she says that she's in therapy now to find out why she's so addicted to love. And then there's just like a lot of question about whether they're like actually in love, because like Raquel has said that she really does care about him, and he hasn't really said anything about it publicly, because why would you? Like, the fact that she put out a statement saying like it's inexcusable how we got together, but I do care about him, is just like girl, it's too early. Like, it's only been a week. Like, give everybody some time to wrap your head around it. And the fact that they all still work together, like, they're all, like, they don't work at the restaurant anymore. Almost none of them do, but, like, they do work on this show together. So there's a lot of speculation about, you know, who's going to be back next season. And then, of course, the camera, like, when this all went down, the cameras went back up. So they went into, like, emergency production. Even though this season was filmed last summer, they're gonna do like a flash forward at the end of the season, and so everybody's filming right now. So it's like this weird, like, things are coming out online, and Kristen is like posting a ton, and Lala, who's this other coworker of theirs, is posting a lot, but Kristen can say whatever she wants because she's not in a contract, or she wasn't until yesterday. And so they yeah, so it's like this weird, like, what's going on in real life, what's going on in the press, what's going on in social media, and then, like, what's going on the season right now, and then, like, what's going to happen in the season later. So it's a lot. It is the biggest reaction I've ever seen to something that happened on Bravo. Like, we've had housewives go to jail, we've had many divorces, many infidelities among the housewives and among, you know, other shows that are similar to Vanderpump Rules, but for whatever reason, this hit like a bomb, and it's been all anyone could talk about on Instagram. Every podcast that I listen to, whether they are specifically Bravo focused or not, have kind of mentioned it, and it's been, like you said, it's been in the news. CNN has a whole, like, you know how at the top they have the different categories? CNN has a Vanderpump Rules scandal tab right now, or at least they did earlier in the week. So yeah, it's been intense. It's all very silly, obviously, but it's yeah, it's been probably the most exciting. Last weekend I said it was the most exciting weekend for Bravo fans since BravoCon, and I feel bad about that because obviously, like, these people are real people and they're hurting and blah blah blah, but it's a big, like, it's a really interesting story. And yeah, so I know you really wanted 12 minutes on that, but there you go.